As I sit here in the dimly lit psychologist's office, my heart pounds in my chest like a wild animal trying to escape its cage. Outside, the faint sound of an ice cream truck's jingle fills the air, sending a shiver down my spine. Dr. Reed, my trusted psychologist, is seated across from me, her eyes filled with compassion and curiosity.
Tell me more about Mr. Withers.
With a gentle yet encouraging tone, she urges me to delve deeper into the enigmatic figure of Mr. Withers. I take a deep breath, attempting to steady my trembling voice as a wave of memories crashes over me. It all began when I was merely 8 years old, innocent and unaware of the darkness that lay beneath the surface of Mr. Withers' seemingly ordinary appearance. In my mind's eye, I can still see him clearly. A tall and slender man, always clad in an immaculate white uniform that perfectly matched his pristine hat. On the surface, he appeared to be an ordinary ice cream man, just like any other. However, there was an unsettling aura that surrounded him, an intangible presence that sent chills down my spine. The most disconcerting aspect was his smile, or rather, the lack thereof. It was as if his lips were merely going through the motions, stretching into what should have been a warm and welcoming expression. But his eyes told a different story. They remained cold and detached, never quite mirroring the joy that his smile purported to convey. As a child, I couldn't quite put my finger on what was wrong with Mr. Withers. All I knew was that something about him made me feel uneasy, a profound sense of discomfort that I couldn't shake off. Little did I know that this initial feeling of unease would eventually transform into something far more sinister. The memories of those encounters with Mr. Withers resurface, and I share them with Dr. Reed, recounting the chilling moments that have haunted me for years. Each visit to the ice cream truck became more ominous, as if the very air around me grew thick with an unspoken menace. And yet, I couldn't resist the allure of the forbidden treats he peddled. It was during one fateful encounter that I finally realized the true nature of Mr. Withers. As I approached his truck, my heart pounding, I noticed a flicker of malevolence in his eyes. It was a split-second glimpse into the darkness that lay beneath his facade, and it sent a shockwave of fear coursing through my veins. From that moment on, I knew that Mr. Withers was not merely an ordinary ice cream man. There was something inherently sinister about him, something that went far beyond his chilling smile and cold, detached gaze. It was as if he was a predator, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. As I finish recounting my story, the room falls silent. The weight of my memories hangs heavily in the air. Dr. Reed leans forward, her expression one of empathy and concern.
I want you to know.
She begins, her voice steady and comforting.
That what you've experienced is incredibly traumatic. But you are not alone in this. Your strength, your courage to confront your past and protect your loved ones is remarkable. Healing will take time, but I believe you can find peace.
She pauses, choosing her next words carefully.
Remember, the past cannot be changed, but you have the power to shape your future. If you ever hear that jingle again, if those memories start to resurface, reach out. Don't face it alone.
I nod, feeling a mix of relief and lingering fear. As I stand to leave, she adds,
You are stronger than you realize. And no matter what happens, you have people who care about you. Don't forget that.
With those words echoing in my mind, I step out of the office, the distant jingle of an ice cream truck still haunting my thoughts. But this time, I feel a glimmer of hope. We had faced the ice cream man once, and we would do it again, no matter what. Every summer afternoon, the neighborhood would come alive with the sound of the familiar jingle of Mr. Withers' ice cream truck. It was a joyful sound that would send children running to the curb, their pockets filled with coins ready to be exchanged for a delicious frozen treat. Mr. Withers himself was a peculiar man, always wearing an unsettling smile that seemed to never fade. He had a certain air of mystery about him, and his ice cream truck became the center of attention for all the kids in the neighborhood. As the summer progressed, a dark cloud began to loom over our once carefree days. One by one, children started to vanish without a trace. It was a disturbing turn of events that left the community in a state of fear and confusion. The only common thread connecting these disappearances was Mr. Withers' ice cream truck. It was a chilling realization that sent shivers down our spines. I vividly remember the last time I saw my best friend, Timmy. He was a sweet and innocent boy, full of life and dreams for the future. We stood by the ice cream truck, engaged in a friendly debate about which flavor to choose. Timmy, always a fan of chocolate, finally settled on a chocolate cone. As Mr. Withers handed him the cone, there was a strange interaction between them. Mr. Withers leaned in close, whispering something in Timmy's ear that seemed to drain the color from his face. In that moment, I knew something was terribly wrong. Timmy dropped his cone, the chocolate melting into a pool on the ground, and without saying a word, he turned and ran home as fast as his legs could carry him. It was a sight that left me frozen with fear. I tried to chase after him, to understand what had happened, but he disappeared into the distance, never to be seen again. That was the turning point for me. The innocence of childhood was shattered, replaced by a deep sense of unease and suspicion. I couldn't shake the feeling that Mr. Withers was somehow involved in the disappearances. His unsettling smile now held a sinister meaning, and his mechanical precision in handing out ice cream took on a more sinister undertone. The community was in turmoil, desperate for answers. Parents started organizing meetings, demanding action from the authorities. The police launched an investigation, questioning Mr. Withers and searching his ice cream truck for any clues. But there was nothing concrete to tie him to the disappearances. It was as if the truth was hiding just out of reach, taunting us with its elusiveness. As the days turned into weeks, the disappearances continued, and our once peaceful neighborhood was engulfed in fear. Parents, consumed with worry, formed an unbreakable bond, determined to uncover the truth behind these horrifying events. My own father joined this collective effort, fueled by a father's love for his child. One fateful evening, they decided to take matters into their own hands and followed Mr. Withers, the local ice cream man, hoping to catch him red-handed. Little did they know that what they were about to discover would surpass their darkest nightmares. In the back of Mr. Withers' truck, they stumbled upon a horrifying sight. Cages, chains, and blood-stained tools lined the interior, revealing a sinister secret. It was then that they realized Mr. Withers was not simply an ice cream man but a true monster, preying on the innocent. With adrenaline coursing through their veins, they managed to subdue him, ensuring he would face justice for his heinous crimes. Handing him over to the authorities, they felt a semblance of relief, believing that the nightmare was finally coming to an end. However, fate had a different plan in store. Tragically, as the police car transporting Mr. Withers to the station made its way through the treacherous roads, it met with a devastating accident. The impact was so severe that it was impossible to salvage any evidence or locate Mr. Withers' lifeless body amidst the wreckage. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. The community was left in a state of shock and disbelief. How could a man capable of such unspeakable acts slip away so effortlessly? Doubts and fears began to resurface, casting a shadow over the once united neighborhood. As for Timmy, his fate remained uncertain. The absence of closure haunted us all, leaving a void that could never be filled. We were left to wonder if he would ever be found, or if his story would forever remain a mystery. In the end, the discovery of Mr. Withers' true nature was a chilling reminder that evil can lurk in the most unexpected places. It served as a wake-up call for our community, igniting a newfound determination to protect our children and ensure their safety. Although the scars left behind by this harrowing experience would never fully heal, we vowed to remain vigilant, to cherish our loved ones, and to never let the darkness overshadow the light in our lives. As the years went by, we all attempted to put the past behind us and move forward. However, no matter how hard we tried, the haunting memories of that traumatic event remained. Whenever that familiar jingle reached my ears, an overwhelming sense of fear would grip me, causing my heart to race and my body to be drenched in cold sweat. As I grew into adulthood, I thought I had successfully buried those memories deep within me, hoping they would eventually fade away. But deep down, I knew they were never truly gone. They lay dormant, waiting for the perfect moment to resurface and torment me once again. Then, last summer, the nightmares returned with a vengeance. The jingle that haunted my dreams in the past came back, echoing through the corridors of my mind. It wasn't long before the haunting melody began to infiltrate my reality as well. But this time, it wasn't just me who was being affected. It was Sarah who first noticed the signs, her keen eyes catching the subtle hints that something was amiss. Her daughter had come home one day, her innocent voice filled with excitement as she recounted a strange encounter with an ice cream man who had given her a free cone. The description of the ice cream man was eerily familiar, and a sense of dread that had been dormant for years resurfaced within Sarah's heart. Deep down, we all knew it was him. The ice cream man had returned, and he was once again preying on our children. The children of my surviving neighborhood friends were vanishing once again. It was as if history was repeating itself, and the sinister presence of Mr. Withers had returned to claim more innocent lives. The panic and despair that had once consumed our lives was now resurfacing, and we were thrust back into the nightmare we had tried so desperately to forget. The sense of helplessness and dread was overwhelming as we realized that the evil force we thought we had escaped was back, wreaking havoc on our lives once more. As the news spread among us, we felt an urgent need to come together, to reconnect with our childhood friends who had also been haunted by the same ghostly figure. We were no longer the carefree children we used to be. Life had molded us into adults burdened with the weight of responsibility. However, the memories of our encounters with Mr. Withers, the ice cream man, still held power over us, and we were determined to put an end to his reign of terror. With a renewed sense of purpose, we gathered in secret, the surviving members of our childhood group. Each of us carried the scars, both visible and invisible, from our past encounters with the ice cream man. The nightmares, the sleepless nights, the lingering fear, they had all shaped us in ways we couldn't fully comprehend. But now, armed with the knowledge of our shared past, we were ready to face our fears head-on and protect our families from the clutches of this malevolent entity. Hours turned into days as we meticulously planned our strategy. We studied every detail we could gather on Mr. Withers, his modus operandi, and his weaknesses. We knew that facing him again would not be an easy task, but the safety of our loved ones depended on our success. We were determined to outsmart him, to turn the tables on this twisted predator. As the night enveloped us with its dark and silent embrace, we found ourselves gathered at the old playground, a place that held both fond memories and the remnants of a shattered childhood. Determined and armed with makeshift weapons, we stood together, a united front eagerly awaiting the arrival of the ice cream truck. The air was thick with tension, each of us lost in our own thoughts, haunted by the memories of what Mr. Withers had done. Suddenly, a faint jingle pierced through the stillness, growing louder and more menacing with each passing second. Our hearts pounded in our chests as the ice cream truck slowly rolled into view, a rusted relic that symbolized our nightmares. And there he was, Mr. Withers himself, stepping out from the truck, his appearance unchanged by the passage of time. His cold eyes and twisted smile were etched into our memories, but this time, we were ready. Gone were the days of innocence and vulnerability. We had grown, both in body and in spirit, and we were no longer willing to be victims of his cruel games. Armed with determination and a newfound resolve, we faced him head-on, our eyes burning with a fire that had been ignited by years of pain and suffering. As Mr. Withers approached, a sinister aura seemed to surround him, but we stood our ground, refusing to be intimidated. The memories of his past transgressions surged through our minds, fueling our determination to put an end to his reign of terror. The wounds he had inflicted upon us, both physical and emotional, had left scars that would never fully heal, but they had also forged a strength within us that he could never comprehend. As he drew nearer, a glimmer of recognition sparked in his eyes, revealing that he had not forgotten us. The corners of his mouth curled into a malevolent grin, widening with a sickening satisfaction. Our hearts raced, a mix of trepidation and determination surging through our veins. We formed a tight circle around him, our fear transforming into an unwavering resolve. The time for retribution had finally arrived. In the face of imminent capture, desperation took hold of him, urging him to make a futile attempt at escape. However, our meticulous planning and rigorous training had equipped us with the tools to counter his every move. His efforts to flee were in vain, as we swiftly closed in on him, overpowering his feeble resistance. The sheer shock that swept across his face as we subdued him was almost gratifying, a momentary taste of victory. But alas, our triumph proved to be fleeting. Unbeknownst to us, Mr. Withers had one last trick concealed within his grasp. With a swift motion, he produced a small, concealed knife, brandishing it with a wild frenzy. Chaos erupted as his blade sliced through the air, threatening to strike any who dared to challenge him. In the midst of the turmoil, tragedy struck. Sarah, a dear friend, was caught off guard, her body succumbing to the force of the blade's malicious trajectory. A collective gasp escaped our lips as she fell to the unforgiving ground, her pain echoing through the air, mingling with our cries of anguish. In that heart-wrenching moment, the atmosphere shifted. Our determination, once unyielding, now mingled with a newfound sense of urgency and desperation. The battle had taken an unexpected turn, forcing us to confront the harsh reality that victory could not be achieved without sacrifice. With heavy hearts and burning determination, we pressed onward, knowing that the fight was not yet over. Desperation, a potent force that propelled us forward, was the driving factor behind our final assault. With every ounce of strength and determination, we subdued him, overpowering his resistance. Expertly, we bound him, ensuring that he would not escape our grasp. With a collective effort, we hauled him towards the awaiting truck, the weight of our mission heavy on our shoulders. We knew that the answers we sought lay hidden within the depths of his twisted mind. Little did we expect that the truck itself held secrets of its own. In a moment of serendipity, we stumbled upon a concealed compartment located at the rear of the vehicle. With trembling hands, we cautiously pried open the compartment, revealing a chilling collection of photographs and mementos. Each item, a haunting reminder of his victims, served as a testament to his sickening obsession with fear and control. A shiver ran down our spines as we perused the contents, the weight of the horrors he had inflicted upon innocent lives becoming all too real. The discovery of the journal, nestled amidst the macabre collection, sent a chill down our spines. Its pages chronicled his demented thoughts and detailed his malevolent plans. It was a glimpse into the mind of a monster, a testament to the depths of his depravity. We couldn't help but wonder how one could become so consumed by darkness and cruelty. With Mr. Withers finally subdued and bound, we knew that our duty was far from over. We swiftly contacted the authorities, ensuring that they were aware of the imminent threat he posed. This time, we made certain that he would be taken away securely, away from the reach of innocent lives. The police arrived, their presence providing a sliver of reassurance amidst the lingering fear. The authorities assured us that he would be locked up for good, but deep down, we knew that the tendrils of his evil would continue to linger. We were all too aware of his cunning and resourcefulness, his ability to escape the clutches of justice. The fear gnawed at our souls, the knowledge that he would find a way to break free and return to his reign of terror. But despite the fear that gripped our hearts, we held on to a glimmer of hope. We knew that we had done everything in our power to bring him to justice, to protect the innocent from his malevolence. We had stood up against the darkness, and in doing so, we had proven that even in the face of unimaginable horror, there is strength in unity. As time went by, the passage of months brought with it a gradual return to normalcy. The once haunting nightmares that plagued our sleep became less frequent, allowing us to find solace in the quiet of the night. The familiar jingle of the ice cream truck, once a haunting melody that sent shivers down our spines, began to fade into the background, becoming nothing more than a distant memory. However, even as life seemed to regain its rhythm, the scars etched upon our souls remained as a constant reminder of the horrors we had endured. The chilling encounters with the ice cream man had left an indelible mark, a testament to the darkness that lurked beneath the surface of our seemingly peaceful town. Just when we thought we could finally breathe a sigh of relief, a chilling reminder of the past arrived in the form of a mysterious letter. It arrived in the mail, devoid of any return address, leaving us with an unsettling feeling in the pit of our stomachs. A single sheet of paper contained a simple, yet bone-chilling message.
I'm always watching.
The fear that had slowly receded surged back, threatening to consume us once more. We knew that we could not allow ourselves to become complacent. The ice cream man may have vanished from our lives, but the darkness he had unleashed upon us was far from gone. His presence loomed over us like a haunting shadow, a constant reminder that our peace was fragile and could be shattered at any moment. With every passing day, we vowed to remain vigilant, to keep our eyes peeled for any signs of his return. We understood that our battle was far from over, and that we needed to be prepared for whatever evil may come our way. The scars on our bodies and minds served as a constant reminder of the strength we had found within ourselves, the resilience that had carried us through the darkest of times. Though the nightmares had become less frequent, we knew that they could resurface at any moment, threatening to pull us back into the abyss of fear and despair. Yet, we refused to let it consume us. We had faced the unimaginable, and we had come out the other side, scarred but not broken. The ice cream man may have left our lives, but his presence continued to linger, a chilling reminder of the fragility of our peace. We would forever be haunted by the memory of his malevolence, but we refused to let it define us. We were survivors, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that we had already stared evil in the face and emerged victorious.
Your support means everything to us. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Click the video on the screen for more shadowy delights.